France has been burning for more than a week. The protest, which started after police shot dead an African teenager, spiraled into riots, and if we believe the local law enforcers, it's a warlike situation on ground. However, the global media coverage of France riots has been disappointing to say the least. If we compare it to the media coverage of certain Indian events like the farmers' protest, one would easily understand the bias of global media towards India. Hello and welcome to the pamphlet. Twitter user Osintwa, who regularly carries out online information and intelligence gathering and analysis, recently wrote a thread in which he compared global media coverage of France with that of several incidents in India. The thread has mention of Western legacy media houses such as NYT, BBC, CNN and Washington Post. Let us quickly have a look at this thread. Firstly, talking about the New York Times, a report of the media house on farmers' protest and France riots clearly show a difference. On your screen, you can see both the reports. On left, see how NYT projects French president as a responsible leader, while on the right, you can see how it tries to downplay the Indian PM. Now let's move on to the Washington Post. On left, you can see how there's no mention of any religion or ethnicity of either the victim or perpetrator. But the same Washington Post, while reporting about an incident in India, explicitly mentions the religion of victim and presents as if the community is being persecuted in India. Next on the list is CNN. Like the Washington Post, it follows the same narrative on France riots. According to CNN, it was a French teenager shot by the police, but it specifically mentions the religion of a dead teenager while reporting about India. Interestingly, the global media outlets would not have mentioned the religion of the victim if it were from the majority community in India, or failed to report it at all. Moving forward, we have BBC, who while reporting France riots highlights a reconciliatory message, while during the farmers' protest it presented a theme of grief and despair. It seems media outlets like the BBC chose to only report negatively about India. While reading this thread, we were puzzled by this bias. We tried to look beyond. For example, what about global media's reporting on the Delhi riots? NYT portrayed it as a battle between Hindus and Muslims. Meanwhile, BBC reported how Muslims' homes were targeted and burnt. And CNN wrote how mosque was attacked in Delhi. Also note about the use of terms. In most reports about riots in France, the word preferred was civil unrest. On the other hand, this is how the NYT had reported about the Gujarat riots back in 2002. Notice the word riot in bold, and you can also see Hindu-Muslim violence. However, none of the global media outlets have yet termed the riots in France as Christian-Muslim violence. Forget religion. Even the dissent of rioters has found no mention in the coverage of global media. Why this bias against India? Is it due to an inclination to a particular ideology, or is it the same old racism towards Indians by people of West since decades, which somehow is still lashed to their legacy media houses? Thank you. If you like this video, kindly subscribe our channel and do not forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram.